Welcome back. Well, the dog days of summer may be your favorite time of year, but with it comes heat, humidity, and summer storms, all of which can be very hard on our pets. When planning your summer, it's important to keep your canine family members safe and make sure they have a happy and healthy summer as well. That's why we've got Bark Busters in the house. Richard and Vicki Horowitz here. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So let's talk first of all. Yesterday was almost the hottest day of the year so far, and we've got more heat on the way. So what do we have to keep in mind, especially when it comes to the car?
Well, one of the most important things is we don't realize dogs have a fur coat on. Okay, so if you leave your dog in the car and it's only 80 degrees outside, within a matter of minutes, it could be 120 degrees in your car.
Wow.
So even leaving the windows open, the air conditioning on is not a good idea.
And I wanted to introduce Henry here.
Yeah.
I forgot. Henry, our Corgi mix, how could I forget you? He's so sweet.
He's so sweet.
So sweet.
He's got great owners who take good care of him.
So that fur coat, obviously, like you said, can be difficult on the dog, but also they can't sweat, right? So how do they cool themselves down?
Well, that's why you want to make sure they have plenty of water.
Yes.
Because they perspire through their mouth, through their tongue, and they really don't have a lot of other ways of getting, so they need to be hydrated very much. And we always tell people that, you know, if you're taking your dog for a walk, let's say, and you're drinking water, then that's the same time you should be offering dog water to your dog. And people, I don't think, realize that if you're thirsty, they probably are. So making sure you have plenty of water and thinking about when you walk them. You know, if you're taking them out to exercise them, you're not going to take them out in the heat of the day. You take them out first thing in the morning, or you take them out late in the afternoon, so that you prevent them from overheating.
And Henry likes his walk. So one of the other things we tell owners, you know, when we're walking, we have shoes or sneakers or sandals on, but dogs don't. So you always want to touch the pavement and see how hot it is, because they could burn their paws, the pads of their paws. The other thing is, when you're taking your dog for a walk, be careful. If they stop and they don't want to walk, it could mean that they're very hot.
Yeah, you want to make sure that they don't overextend themselves.
Right.
And besides stopping, are there any other signs that the dog is getting overheated?
You might see the excessive panting, that you might see their heart rate. They might be, their chest might be moving a lot, and so you see the increase in the heart rate, and it looks like that's taxing on their body. So you want to make sure you don't put them in those situations.
Is there anything you want to do with their diet during the summer to help them? Is there anything you can do?
Well, one of the things you want to make sure, specifically, they have enough water, okay? And if your dog lives outside or spends a lot of time outside, make sure they have a shaded area. Often we get people who say, oh, my dog dig a hole in the yard, and it might be to get a cool spot. Make sure they have multiple sources of water outside. In case one bowl gets knocked over, they can still access water another way.
Right, and make sure that they have an area, and if you keep them outside during any kind of a storm, they have an area to cover themselves. But it's also not important not to keep your dogs outside for extended periods of time if you can help it because of the heat.
And when it comes to storms, we do have some storms potentially in the forecast. Lightning can be a big concern.
It's
with
more
dogs.
the thunder and the buildup of the static electricity that happens about 20 minutes before there's a storm.
And they usually know, and they're the ones that usually indicate. They can tell. They can start sensing it before we are.
Wow.
And so a lot of what we tell people to do is just make sure you don't coddle. You don't coddle your dog. You don't let him know it's okay. You let him go den himself. And sometimes dogs go in crates. Sometimes they go in bathrooms and they corner themselves off. Let them do their own thing. But the best thing to do is just to ignore any of their behavior rather than feeding into it.
So once they show fear, don't say, oh, it's okay.
Yeah, don't feed into it. Exactly right.
Right,
Yep.
because if you're calm and cool, they're calm
Exactly.
and cool.
They read our body language. They read our emotions.
And is that how you can actually eventually get them to be not so fearful of thunderstorms?
Yes, we do a lot of other things like playing thunderstorm noises in the background, desensitizing to the sounds by using YouTube videos and things so that they see that you don't react. Dogs feed off of our emotions. So if we're calm during a thunderstorm, they're calm. A lot of times we as people get all worked up and nervous, and our dogs are like, oh, I guess I need to be nervous too. So if we don't make a big deal out of it, they learn that it's not a big deal.
Great advice as always, the Bark Busters. And Henry, you are so well behaved.
He's a
This
great
little
dog.
Corgi mix here, so sweet. Look at those ears. Oh my goodness. He's not fearful of anything.
No,
I love this
not at
little
all.
guy. Of course, for more information, you can always head to our website, WTNH.com. Just click on that on-air tab, pull it down to the Good Morning Connecticut weekend section. 7:45 now. Let's head over to Sam with a trailer forecast. A great day to walk the dog.
Definitely.
Earlier in the day, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And be careful because the pavement will get very hot on a day like today with all the sunshine and also the warm temperatures as well. Right on that pavement, it will be well over 100 degrees. In the air, it's not going to be there, but still around 90. So another hot day across Connecticut in store for us. Middle of the summertime, this is the type of weather that we get. No rain at all on our radar view, which is great news for us. And rain is something we certainly do need. We are at we are